Starting off this list, in our number 10 spot, we have this car chase glitch. This video was caught on a police dash cam and shows something pretty unexplainable. The police officer is on a car chase with the perpetrator. The criminal is doing his best to evade the police and continually fakes pulling over to then quickly turn around. He's going pretty crazy, swerving all over the road, which is both confusing and strange. But this is when things really take a weird turn. He takes a turn towards a fence, and this is when something that I can't understand happens. It would appear as though this man somehow drove through a fence that was left with no holes, and then just basically disappeared into the night. I honestly can't figure out what happened here, but this guy must have been extremely lucky, or something more sinister was going on. In our number 9 spot today, we have this bird glitch. This glitch comes from a Reddit user called AmorXP00 from a time they captured some birds behaving very strangely. I'll just let you take a look at it first, and then we can discuss. When I first watched this, I 100% thought it was photoshopped. I truly could not believe what I was seeing because there is just no way. From the coordination of the flying all the way to the ripples of color changes, I thought this was just made up or truly a huge glitch in the Matrix. As it turns out, there's actually an explanation for this. This is called a murmur and is basically a defensive posture that birds take. It truly is one of the coolest things I have ever seen, and there are more videos of it that you can look up because it is fascinating. I feel like I would be the one bird who just didn't get the new choreo memo because this looks intricate. In our number 8 spot today, we have people frozen in time. In September of 2019, a Buffalo, New York resident caught this extremely eerie and uncomfortable glitch in the Matrix. A woman was driving past a park when she needed to take out her camera and record what was going on because it truly is so bizarre. A bunch of people in a park were completely frozen still. And it wasn't like one group of people in the park who were just trying to do something. It was every single person that was there. Maybe there was some kind of weird piece of performance art that involved a lot of people or something, because that is the only explanation that I can think of. Do you see what I mean by this just being the creepiest thing? I just can't shake the bad feeling that this video gives me. In our number 7 spot today, we have this manhole cover glitch.
On Earth is this one bouncing around so madly, so freely, as if it's as light as a feather.
I'm not sure if these have the same names in every country, but this video is in reference to a manhole cover. You know those really heavy metal lids that go on top of the holes that lead to the sewer? They're designed to be extremely heavy so that people can't just waltz into the sewer system whenever they feel like, which is probably a good thing, but this video would make it seem otherwise. This video is very short, but it shows one of these covers basically just bouncing up and down as if it is lightweight and there's air coming up from underneath it. It would take a lot of air to do this, considering the typical cover weighs 113 kilos or 249 pounds. It makes it seem like something is down there pushing up on it, but what could be strong enough? And also, why is anyone in there at all? And also, shouldn't someone be helping if there really is someone down there? This is all to say, I really cannot explain this one, so it truly must be a glitch in the simulation of our reality. In our number 6 spot today, we have this rain glitch. This video was taken by a man in Paris when the weather was acting unlike anything I have ever seen. It's not abnormal for rain to hit one part of a city while the other part has clear skies, but this takes that one step further. The skies are cloudy, so it's not completely abnormal to see rain, but it is just raining in one spot. One tiny spot is absolutely pouring rain, seemingly out of nowhere, but everywhere else is not raining. At first I thought that maybe someone from up above is pouring water, but the video does pan up for you to see nothing above this random rainfall. If there is a scientific explanation for this, please leave it in the comments because this one is honestly unbelievable. In our number number 5 spot today, we have this propeller glitch. This video comes from a flight to Edinburgh. A passenger began taking a video of the propeller on the side of the plane when they caught this strange glitch in the matrix. This propeller is of course moving, or at least we all hope it is, but it appears as if it isn't. This is most likely due to the speed of the propeller and the camera not being able to pick up its speed, but man, does this video make it look strange. The video has this weird effect where it looks like it's almost sped up or something. It's super strange how it appears as though the propeller is moving either up or down based on the direction he moves the phone. Definitely a cool but very strange video that you could definitely use to freak your friends out. In our number 4 spot today, we have this plane glitch. This video comes from Moscow and shows what looks like a plane completely stuck in the air. This is of course impossible, so you can understand everyone's disbelief when they first see this video. Imagine just casually driving down the road and witnessing this. I guess the only appropriate response would be to capture it on video, because how else would you explain this to anyone else? I'm going to assume that this is some sort of optical illusion, but it is just very strange to see a plane that is that close to the ground that isn't either ascending or descending. It is possible that the clear skies made it more difficult to see the movement of the plane, but whatever really happened here, it definitely is strange. In our number 3 spot today, we have this reflection glitch. This video comes from TikTok and shows a very confused driver in traffic. This man started filming a car that was slightly ahead of him in the next lane when he noticed something was really off. The man is in a convertible and his reflection can be seen in one of the side mirrors. You can see this man moving his head around in his car, which is normal because he is of course a human being, but what isn't normal is the fact that his reflection is not moving along with him. It really is one of those things you have to see to believe.
Right? And his face is moving, but look at that, his face just moved, but the guy in the mirror is seeing the same. Yo, the matrix is broken.
You guys, this one was a weird glitch, and if it wasn't a glitch, the only other explanation I have is that maybe he's a ghost. Either way, something weird is happening over there. In our number 2 spot today, we have this Tyson fight glitch. This one takes place in 1995, and it may be a glitch, but it also could be a time traveler. This video is from a Mike Tyson fight, and while Tyson is of course the star of the video, there is a person in the audience who caught everyone's attention, and for a good reason. This fight, like I said, took place in 1995, but when you peek into the audience, it appears as though someone is taking their own video with what looks like a smartphone. This gadget that they are holding doesn't look like most cameras for the time and very closely resembles our smartphone cameras, with the lens not being in the center but more off to the side. I know it was kind of difficult to see, but did you guys see that person on the left? I honestly don't know what to make of it or really how to explain this one. In our number 1 spot today, we have this dance battle glitch. This video shows some kind of dance battle, which I am absolutely here for until things get a little weird. It is a b-boy style dance-off, and one kid is wearing a red hat, which he throws into the audience. Shortly after he throws the hat, he is doing some breakdancing on the floor when the red hat literally reappears out of nowhere. This kid is not only a great dancer, but also apparently a magician, because how the heck does this even happen? I honestly watched this video probably 20 times trying to figure out how and when this could have happened, but I am absolutely stumped.
What the fuck? What? Wow, we're starting off strong with this one. Where did that come? Wow. Cool. I wish dogs would just appear in front of me like that all the time. That'd be great. I'd be so much happier. I'd be like, come on, let's go. Let's go. Let's do it.
Coffee, Smith? I'm not drinking coffee. I'm just testing. See, if you were a liar, you might say you were enjoying
Then just disappears.
Maybe you take a drink from an imaginary cup. Who are you and why do you
I love they're watching Family Guy in the background, I think, or it's American Dad. That's super strange. That's super strange. This is gonna be one of those videos that haunts me forever. That's so weird. And I know a lot of things can be done on camera now because of the technology that we have, but it's so hard. Like that's just the, wow, that show. I'm gonna forget the name of the show. Anyway, insert sci-fi show name here. That is what that is.
These two complete strangers stood next to each other utterly randomly, yet both seem to have the exact same legs. It's not just the color and design of the pants, though that certainly helps, but everything about their legs seems to sync up. If you were to only look at the bottom half of this photo, you'd probably think that there had just been a computer error and each half of the photo was identical, and yet the top half of each woman is individual.
I just love the narration sometimes, and I know that's kind of ironic considering that's what I do now for a living, but this would freak me out. Like, I've never actually shown to a party and had the same outfit as someone, which is kind of cool, I guess, being a jeans and t-shirt kind of gal. That should happen more often than it does. Anyway, whatever. That would freak me out. That's super, super cool, but I hope this was a wonderful moment for the two women in this video. I hope they were like, oh my god, girl, I didn't know. I thought I was the only one, as opposed to like the mean reaction, which is like, you can't wear those pants. I'm wearing those pants. Which happened in middle school all the time. Anyways.
Argument to be had that it's just pressurized air pushing against the manhole cover, making it bounce around. But that would have to be some seriously pressurized air to push something that heavy up and down. More pressure than a kid in the midst of their SATs. That's how much pressure we're talking. It's so lively, so free. It's almost as if the manhole cover has the mind of a puppy.
It's so lively, so free. Wow, amazing. That's hilarious. I love how he compares that to a kid going through the SATs. That's kind of the cherry on top for me. I kind of believe it. I don't know what happens in gutters. My mind's not in the gutter. I don't know, that could have been an alligator. I hope it wasn't an alligator, but it could have been just a really bad plumbing backup.
Yo, this bird is stuck in midair, bro. This bird is trying to fly, but it's stuck. Oh, the bird got stuck in time. Look, no lie, bro. What the
Dude, the wind must be so strong. That's actually what I blame that on. That's not necessarily a glitch, I think. That's just like, the bird has hit a wind draft that's just so strong that has finally just equated the bird's strength itself. Like, it can't actually fly through it. You just gotta land and chill out for a minute because there's no way. That poor thing, how tiring would that be? That's like somebody, like, that's like one of those infinity pools, but for birds. Oh, that's loud.
Look at it, for real. Looks like it's just kind of hovering there. Stop on the side of the road so you can see. It's really
Huh. See, that's not quite like the bird because it looked like the bird was in a storm, but this guy's got clear, beautiful skies. And unless it was some kind of optical illusion of the car kind of circling around the area, which is kind of what it looks like it does. It could be that, but that's really odd. That's so strange. Ugh, I mean, the fact that planes can even fly is a miracle to me. It's a science thing, I know, but it's incredible that they can. Like these massive, like 14-ton things, even larger than that, I'm not actually sure. But that one was weird. What do you guys think?
A dash camera captures something really strange in the middle of the street. While it's raining outside, we see the car positioned vertically, standing on its end. And it's quite bizarre, it's just really strange. Is this car defying gravity? Or is there a reasonable explanation why the car is positioned this way?
I was like, well, it's raining, pouring. There's a dramatic, like I feel like he's about to narrate a film noir and it's about a car balancing on a crash. I wonder, for some miraculous reason, they have something really, really heavy in the back of the car, and when it kind of tilted back, it counteracted the weight of the end. So that's why it's balancing like that. Maybe. Or it's a glitch in the Matrix. I don't know. If all else fails, it's the Matrix.
On a CCTV camera, we see two men that look like complete strangers. Both wipe their face at the same time while in a similar stance.
Одновременно сейчас.
It does make you wonder whether we are all just actually in a massive computer game being run by aliens in space, and they're just having a wonderful time, bringing us slowly into awareness until one day we all realize that this is in fact the Matrix and the movie was right.
The car is driving down a snowy road. It's pretty extreme weather, nice and Christmassy, but otherwise nothing out of the ordinary here. But these glitches seem to come when we least expect them. Slowly but surely the car appears to fade away. Slowly but surely it is consumed by the snowflakes and vanishes into thin air, gone without a trace.
Pretty sure it was still there, right? I'm gonna do that again. Oh yeah, I guess the one in the corner wasn't the car. I thought it was the first time I watched it. I thought it was that one. That's so weird. I mean, driving in the winter in Canada is not fun, and it's the worst when you're like driving and you can't see the road because it's just so snowing so fast. There are some people that just drive on the highway during extreme weather, and they drive like it's a Sunday and it's gorgeous outside, and I have no idea how they do it. And I have a feeling that that gust of snow that just flurried up before the car disappeared was actually the car just going like, you know, they just decided to, Jesus, take the wheel.
A criminal was desperate to race away from the police. His car is bolting down the highway at breakneck speeds. Will he get away? These are exciting scenes, but not exactly abnormal. It's what happens next that will have you doubting your entire concept of reality. Just in the nick of time, his car appears to mysteriously vanish in a puff of black smoke. It's as if Thanos clicked his fingers in the car and its driver turned into dust in an instant. It's any criminal's dream to be able to teleport away from the scene of the crime in a mere instant.
No way that's real. No way. That's really cool though if it is. But there's no way. That's gotta be like a deep fake internet thing. That's just way too cool and way too convenient. I also love the narration. Can we just talk about that for a second? He's like, it's so romantic, you know?
What the f is happening?
I've seen this video before and I've watched it so many times and I find it so creepy. Just people standing there, it's like somebody press pause, you know? And this goes back to the game theory. Like we're all just some game of Sims, aren't we? That's so freaky. That's so freaky. I hate that. That's like a horror film in the making. Ugh, gross. No, thank you. I know, I said it again. I wanted to say it again.
The fence at the end means no way out, or does it?
What? What? That's so
Even
crazy.
Watching it again,
wait a minute.
Cops are unable to make sense of it. All they see is an intact fence and nothing more than the vanishing taillights, what the Garden City PD has come to call the ghost car.
That's so... That one was cool. That one was really cool. I don't know how to explain that. Obviously, I don't have all the answers to anything. I don't even have the answers to anything in my own life. But that was pretty cool. Because, okay, so at first I thought, when he turns off, I thought maybe he kind of found an exit and just went around. But then, they literally turn and it's right, that's super weird. That's so cool. That's definitely a glitch in the Matrix. Somebody's playing Grand Theft Auto and it's going real well for them, I guess. Wait. What? I don't understand that at all. My brain hurts. Oh God, it hurts. At first I thought it was because it was spinning so fast you saw the 5 separate blades, but they aren't. Usually you see kind of like almost a gray film in between each one if it's going that fast, but it starts to move at 26 seconds in. I don't get that. That's so weird. I'm not gonna be the same person after that. That's really cool. I want someone to slow this video down so, or speed it up or slow it down as far as you possibly can just to see if there is any movement, and then we can debunk that theory, and then this video is just weird, but I also don't want that to be debunked because then, you know what I mean?
Starting us off with number 10 is the twin dream. This one is actually uncanny, like I've never heard of it happening before, so I was like, mind blown. Either way, this one was shared by an anonymous person who said the story actually happened to their dad. The dad works for an AC and heating company, so he goes to people's houses to fix their units, you get the gist. Either way, 5 years ago, the dad had a dream that he went to an elderly woman's house to fix her boiler. He'd never met her before, never been to her house before, but the whole dream was just hyper realistic. They chatted for about 10 minutes and then he left and then he woke up. Either way, the dream happened, the dad didn't really think too much of it, and a week later his company got a call from an old woman needing her boiler fixed. The dad goes to the house, and when he gets there, his heart literally skips a beat. It's the same house from his dream, the exact same lady, and as soon as she sees him, she goes, "Hi Gary." He hasn't even introduced himself, mind you. So obviously he asks her how she already knew his name, and she says she had a dream last week that he had come to fix her boiler. So these two total strangers who've never seen each other had the exact same dream about meeting each other at the exact same time. Like, how does that even happen? I legit thought you could only dream about people whose face you'd seen before. I mean, like, that's the biggest glitch if I've ever heard of one. Legit, just saying. Coming in at number 9 is the disappearing accident. So this one's from Redditor Mark of Shame, who said he was driving home during a storm one day and he saw the side road up ahead had been blocked off by flashing barricades. Beyond the barricade, he saw a Mercedes with its hazard lights on, so he was like, shit, maybe they need some help. And as an EMT, he was trained for this, so he went over there, shined his light in the back seat, and saw a man slumped over who looked like he was asleep. Now the user assumed the people were drunk and shone some light in the front of the car as well. And this is where it gets creepy. The driver was just sitting upright, just staring ahead of him. He didn't blink or flinch from the light, he didn't even respond to the user tapping on his window. It was like he was in a trance. The passenger next to the driver was also slumped over on the dashboard, and slightly creeped out, the user decided to call the sheriff. While on the phone, he went back to his own car to get his go bag, and then the sheriff asks him for the car's number plate. As he turns around to check the number, a massive truck comes down, blocking the Mercedes. The user goes around the truck to find the Mercedes nowhere to be found. It was a dead end lane. It had trees on one side and barricades on the other. Like, where could the car have physically gone? And honestly, by the sounds of the passengers, I feel like they're on the highest level of drugs, or they were just not from our dimension. Drugs I have yet to try. At number 8, we have the egg. Okay, I'm aware this title is a bit funny. I feel like anytime I open the selfie camera unexpectedly, I look like a double-chinned egg. I kid you not. I always tell my friends I'm an egg, but anyway, that's just irrelevant. You guys cannot call me an egg in the comments. Anyway, this story is from Redditor Super Unhappy Fun Time, which doesn't give off mixed signals at all. But anyway, at the user's workplace, they have breakfast laid out for them every single morning, and this breakfast is basically a buffet of eggs, bacon, etc. I wish we had a buffet when we got into work, like that would make my life. Anyway, the spread feeds about a dozen people, and the user was usually the first person to work most days, so the kitchen was completely empty. He went over to the egg tray, which had 12 eggs in it. The tray was filled with 12 eggs, and so he takes one, goes to the bin, peels the egg, and when he walks back, there are magically 12 eggs in the tray again. Mind you, no one entered the kitchen while he was peeling the egg, so where the hell did this egg come from? He even started touching this mysterious egg, and it seemed to be the same temperature as the eggs around it. Then doubting himself, he was like, did I even pick up an egg and peel it? And obviously the peeled egg was in his hand, so he definitely did. So this mysterious glitch in the Matrix resulted in an extra egg in the universe. Gotta love it. Now I'm craving eggs. I'm just craving any food. Filling our number 7 slot is the delivery. So this one was shared by an anonymous person who said they used to deliver pizzas during college to make money. One day the person had a delivery that would have taken them about 20 minutes to complete there and back. When they finally got back to the store, their manager was mad, asking them why it had taken so long to deliver this one pizza. The person was confused and asked what the manager meant, and the manager goes, you took 1 hour and 7 minutes to deliver this pizza. The person was dumbfounded, and then they realized, wait, I don't even remember delivering this pizza. Like, I remember getting back into the store when they got back, but that's literally it. The person continued on saying they don't do drugs, they don't drink, they weren't abducted by aliens in the interim during the delivery, so they have no idea where that time went and what happened. Honestly, I feel bad for this person who went through this, but as the person ordering that pizza, I'd be pissed as hell if my pizza delivery took that long. Like, I'm not here to have some cold ass pizza that took 1 hour and 7 minutes to get to my house. I'm not gonna pay for that. I refuse. Now at number 6 is the barbecue shift. This one was submitted by an anonymous person who said this glitch happened to them back in 2012. At the time, the girl was 19, living at home with her sister and parents, and she had a job at a barbecue place at the time. One day she came home from her shift and her sister said, "Oh, I thought you were off today." The girl thought, why would she think that? I left at 5 AM this morning before anyone was awake. So she asked her sister like, "Hello, when did I even say that?" And her sister was like, 2 hours ago when I went into your room. You were in bed, snuggled under your covers, and we had a proper 15-minute conversation. And the girl was like, no, we definitely did not. Smell the barbecue smoke and sauce on me. I've been at work all day. The girl and her sister then got super freaking creeped out, and honestly, neither of them felt comfortable in that room ever again. How do you have a 15-minute conversation with someone that's not there? I don't get it. The glitch is real. Coming in at number 5 is the woods incident. So this one's from Reddit user Boring Psychopath, who said when he was a kid he was in the wooded area of his yard with his mum. They were taking pictures of old cars to sell them, and all of a sudden his mum heard some rustling in the bushes nearby and told him to run. The user kicked off his flip-flops and ran for his life, and as he was going, he heard a clanking sound behind him like something had just jumped on top of the cars. The boy was running, and eventually got back to his house, and while running, he didn't see his mum at all. When he got into the house panicking, he saw his mum was sitting at the table reading the newspaper. The user was so confused he had no idea how she had teleported without them even crossing paths. He ended up asking her about it as an adult, and she said she definitely remembered the cars they had to sell, but she didn't recall the running incident at all. So what was this kid running from? What jumped on these cars? Is this mum even legit? I don't really know. At number 4 is the plane crash. Now this one is a bit weird, and I low-key feel like this guy lived the same day twice, so let me know what you guys think. This one was submitted by an anonymous person who said this day happened not long after 9/11 on a Friday. The guy got up to go to class, and he had one of those mornings where nothing was sort of going right. He broke a glass trying to get something to drink, he tripped on his way to his car, and ended up being late to class since there was some car wreckage on the way. Sounds like it just wasn't your day, man, but don't worry since your due of it is coming very soon. Either way, while at school he was told about a plane crashing. The wings had apparently blown off. He heard about it, then continued on with his day. You know, he went to work and then he went home. The next morning his roommate ends up waking him up asking if he plans on skipping class or not. Somehow the guy woke up and it was Friday again. He refused to believe it, and his roommate spent 20 minutes convincing him it was indeed Friday. So confused, this dude gets up again, goes to class, sees the glass he broke yesterday perfectly intact. He sees the car wreckage on his way to school as well, so most things are kind of going the same as the first time he lived the Friday. At school he was waiting to hear about the plane crash, but it never happened. He never gets told about it, and the day ends up being quite normal. It's the same as the other one except no plane crash. So how the hell did this guy live in the same day twice with completely different things happening? Like, someone please tell me. I would honestly be so pissed if I lived my Friday, was so excited to wake up on my weekend on the Saturday, and then my roommate is like, "You were going to class, bro?" No! I already did Friday once. Filling our number 3 slot is the cousin. So this girl apparently knew her cousin died and how he died before he actually did. One day her mum tells her that she was sad to say that her cousin had died, and before she could finish the girl was like, yeah, from an overdose, right? And the mum was shocked that the girl already knew before she'd said it. The girl didn't understand because she was 110% sure that her mum had told her that same cousin died the year before from an overdose. And mind you, the girl hadn't even met this cousin, barely even knew him if she knew him at all, and she didn't even know he was on drugs till she got told he died. So when her mum told her a year later again that he had died, she seriously thought she was screwing with her. She even asked her mum to show her the death date, and only then did she believe her. But what even? Like, how do you know someone died from what they died from a year before they actually died? How many times have I said died in this paragraph? It could be a drinking game of juice for our PG viewers. Wink wink. Now at number 2 is First Street. I feel like this is a foreshadowing glitch, if you will. So this was shared by an anonymous user on Reddit, and they said they have an Android phone. Woohoo, Android! Anyway, and the phone has a Google Cards feature that notifies you when you're this many minutes away from your house. The user thought the feature was useless, probably so would I, and they turned it off. Months passed and the user never got any card notifications, but one night while they were at home eating pizza, they got a card pop up saying 35 minutes to home. The phone pinned them to an intersection they'd never even been to on the other side of town. Let's just call it First Street. Either way, the user was like, what the hell, I'm not even there, I've never even been there. They went to turn their card settings off, but it was already off. Brushing it off as a glitch, they just didn't give it much thought until it happened again the next night. Again, the user checks the card notifications and they're still off. So why do they keep getting notified about being on First Street when they're clearly at home? But here's where it gets really weird. A few days later, the user and their friend are running errands and the friend misses the road exit, so he takes the next one. Once on the next one, he has no idea where they are and tries turning left, but ends up getting crashed into by another car. Their wheel gets completely screwed, and since they had their kids in the car, the user decides to call their sister to pick them up. When she asks them for the location, the person checks and they end up being at the First Street intersection 35 minutes from home. Dun dun dun. Silence. And finally, at number 1 is Coda. So this one actually has CCTV footage as evidence, so like this is a proper documented glitch in the Matrix. This story was shared by an anonymous Reddit user whose post now got deleted, but anyway, who said a few weeks ago their dog Coda came into their bedroom and kept trying to jump on their bed. She kept falling and eventually gave up, and a few minutes later the user gets a call and they go downstairs to answer it. The user's grandma was on the phone saying she'd made some food and to come over and eat it. So the user puts her jacket on, gets her keys, Coda's leash, the dog herself, and drives over. She got there, the two were eating, they were chilling, they were bonding, nice grandma-granddaughter bonding time, etc. And when she was about to leave, they couldn't find Coda anywhere. They searched for ages, but she was nowhere to be found. The user decided to go home and come back the next day in daylight and search more. Devastated, the user drove home, went to sleep dogless, and woke up at a crazy time like 6 AM because she heard something downstairs. It was Coda. So confused but thrilled, she assumed Coda had gotten lost and found her way home. Either way, she went over to her grandma's that day to tell her she'd found the dog, and then she was like, did I even bring Coda to yours yesterday? And the grandma was like, yeah, of course you did, you left her leash here. The user then asked her grandma to check the footage from her camera to double check, and this is where it gets bloody creepy. Now the footage showed them Coda entering the house with the user but never leaving with her. It didn't even show Coda leaving the house on her own and getting lost. Like, she literally entered the house, never left, and then magically made it back to her own house without leaving her grandma's house. Somebody tell me how this dog has defied the laws of physics and life and done this. Coda, you're a good girl. That's all I'm gonna say.